In this video, I'm going to be talking about 4 ways that you can improve the fuel economy in your diesel pickup. Wow, this guy is such an idiot. Why would you buy a truck like this if you care about fuel economy? You should buy a smaller car, blah, blah, blah. If you drive a lot of miles in your pickup truck and you actually use it to work, a lot of you care about how much diesel costs. And diesel costs have gone up recently. I made this video a while ago, a few years ago, and I want to do a remake about the ways that I'm trying to conserve fuel, save money on fuel as a business owner. Tip number 1, just drive under 65 miles an hour. It will depend on what your gear ratio is. So this is a 250. I believe it's the 331 gears. So, figure out what speed your truck is most efficient at, what RPM range. This thing loves 1500 RPM. So I find between 60 and 65 miles an hour, I get the best fuel economy. So I try to set cruise. As soon as I get to 70, 75, it's atrocious. But with this thing, how it's configured right now, I can get about 18 to 20 on the highway as long as it's not super windy. And obviously the terrain and elevation and whatever will kind of influence that. But driving slower is like the easiest thing you can do. You really don't have to change anything on the truck. Just, figure out what your gear ratio is and what speed the truck runs best at. Anybody who is a actual professional truck driver or a logistics guy, hotshot guy, knows that their vehicle performs better at a certain speed. So just figure out what that is and try it. The second tip I have for you involves doing a little something, but it's just tire pressure. So I typically, when I'm rolling around town, will run this thing at 50 PSI front and rear when I'm not towing, when the bed's not loaded. I get better ride quality, but it does make your fuel economy suffer. So if I'm really trying to save and I don't really care about ride quality, I will put 60 in the front, 60 in the rear, or if I'm towing, I'll put 75 in the rear. And then this thing rolls like it's on glass. And when you hit a bump, it feels like you're gonna go through the ceiling, but tire pressure is huge and it's very easy. Doesn't involve you spending any money, just a little bit of time. The next thing I'm going to talk about will probably surprise no one, but this is a diesel, and so run an additive. The best thing you can do if you own a modern diesel, especially with the ultra low sulfur diesel fuel that we have now, is run something that adds cetane and lubricity. The cetane specifically will help you get a more complete burn of the diesel fuel, and that will give you better fuel economy. I like to run Arch Oil, and I have a discount code. You can get 10% off if you use the code PSM10 at archoil.com. And the last thing that you can do to get better fuel economy in your truck, it does involve spending money. Usually it's quite a bit of money, and so it's definitely more of a longer term investment, but tune your truck. And if you really want great fuel economy, like 4 to 5 miles per gallon better than whatever you were getting factory, then you should definitely consider doing the thing where you take the breathing apparatus off of your truck. You know what I mean? Basically, cut the contamination of your engine, let it breathe, let it run, but get a good tune. I think that's the biggest thing with tuning these days, is it's hard to find a good tune. If you want emissions on, maybe get something from Banks, go to PPEI. Anyway, he's got some really good stuff, emissions on, tuning. You will get better fuel economy if you run one of those tunes, a good tune, even with emissions on. Now, it's a big spend to tune your truck, and I think, that's something you just have to kind of think about, is that, are you going to be able to justify the cost? For me, because I drive 50 to 70,000 miles a year, it's totally worth it. But if you're only, towing your RV 5,000 miles a year, spending, 2 to 3 grand on a tune package for your truck and an exhaust might not be worth it. But in my opinion, that is the single biggest thing you can do for this out of anything I just mentioned, is just get your truck running a good quality tune, and you'll see some huge fuel savings. And if you have any questions about what I'm getting, I just pulled that trailer over there, which is only a 6x12, but it's probably close to 2,500 pounds, back from Pennsylvania. And this is what I'm getting for fuel economy, doing all the things that I'm doing with towing a trailer. Had a camper in the bed I was transporting. That was the trip, in kind of a 400-mile trip. This is the last 9,000 miles, towed a trailer to California and back, got like 16.9 total in the last 10,000. So, I mean, the fuel savings are real, you know? And I think by kind of implementing some of this stuff, you can definitely save big. Obviously, it was sick when fuel was like $2-3 a gallon, especially diesel. But, I don't know. Can't always have nice things. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Cheers.